What's up, AKAPADers? How about some of that 9 o'clock heat? That's what we're all here for, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Now, a little bit of a caveat. Some of these 9 o'clock drops, some of them are pre-recorded, like well in advance. They're like, I got ones probably a month plus out already scheduled, okay? But sometimes we see something, we get inspired. So we push the scheduling back and we drop one in here. So welcome to it. It's DC All In. I'm going to put that picture up. Now, I know some of you may not like my pictures up, but I don't know. Do you guys like the fire too? We have it all here. And welcome back to the channel. I think some of you are new, and I love seeing you guys around. Hopefully, we can hang out in the comment section and be on the lookout. We're just going to do a couple quick promos before we get into DC All In. We're going to be live streaming again. We got some nice projects we're going to be doing live. It's me at the drawing table. It's, come on, come all. You just hang out. No super chats. I can pretty much respond and have a conversation with everybody. Hopefully I'll see you there. So, DC All In. This image, why does this not excite? Why does this kind of divide? It has nothing to do with the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight design. Guys, I like pushing some of those boundaries. I'm not crazy over Wonder Woman having tattoos in this. I believe, because Wonder Woman should almost be, perfect, be an idol, and be untouched. That's just how I view the character. What really bothers me is we're pushing this Trinity, and there's an opportunity not to push the Trinity. Because there's four. There's Shazam. There's Captain Marvel. Since Shazam Fury of the Gods, and guys, I go back and forth about this. I say it a lot. I'm going to say it again. One of the best things about these movies dropping and the hype and the excitement around these films, it forces us, to question what we understand about the character, what we really know about the character, and how much of a Wikipedia article are we of the character, meaning how much do you know? I love that time when Shazam Fury of the Gods dropped because I went all in. I just spent a lot of time. I remember probably a solid 4 weeks, maybe even a whole month of just being totally obsessed with Captain Marvel and Shazam. And a lot of it was respecting the history of the character and what that character did for comic books. Now we can go into Billy Batson, the alter ego, and how it ended up, how that property ended up at DC Comics, and those are all videos for different conversations. But there's even a couple storylines from we'll say the old days. I'm hunting. I'm trying to find reprints of them, and I can't do it. And it's just frustrating because none of it would be there. None of this would be here without Captain Marvel. And DC has an opportunity to put Captain Marvel on the forefront of All In, making a statement that they are grounded in the absolute history of DC comic books, the consolidation period, what came before, what came after, post-crisis, pre-crisis, all of these things. I'm talking about Crisis of Infinite Earths because there's only one crisis. Well, maybe Identity. I do like Identity Crisis. I do like that a lot, actually. So maybe there's two crises. But they go all in on the Trinity, which is just a low-hanging fruit to signal to people that, hey, we're going to focus on these characters. These characters are going to get what we feel like is our best talent, our best writers, our best teams, and all of this other stuff. And we're just going to give you more. We're going to give you more of this Trinity that we tried with DC Rebirth and New 52, and it goes on and on. I mean, Shazam didn't even get a singular launch title with the New 52. The Shazam comic, which is a perfect origin comic, by the way, it's Gary Frank and Jeff Johns. That comic was a Justice League comic, and they pushed it as a Shazam comic. Very frustrating. and I know a lot of you guys aren't connected to the history as much, and you do lean on this channel a little bit to get a little bit of those nudges and insights. And but I kind of, I went through a round of just other commentators, like other YouTubers, and because I try and absorb to really kind of see, am I tracking something the correct way. I'm also seeing what's popular and what's being repeated. And for this All In, everything was a potentially like a bi identified Superman, and the design for Batman. Like those were the two hills everyone was dying on, which is crazy to me, because you're leaving out the character that's really responsible for the entire superhero marketplace. I know a lot of you guys want to say, well, Superman and this and that. If you really go back, it all like it's all in Captain Marvel, all in Shazam. And I just feel like it's a little bit of a betrayal, and we're fully walking away from it at this point. Now, you might say, let's just say Shazam Fury of the Gods was a smash hit. So you kind of have back-to-back hit movies by Shazam. And maybe like a couple things go viral from the movie, and Target starts stocking t-shirts from a catchphrase in the movie. Like I said, like the movie gets steam. And then James Gunn comes into DC Studios, labeling it DC Studios, by the way, and says, guys, Shazam's not grounded in the DCEU. We're also going to bring him over, and we're going to get Zachary Levi, and we're going to do like a whole new Shazam thing. And guys, he's going to be a part of the Justice League, as he always should be, and he's going to be amazing. And like the excitement for that, right? Like just from the straight excitement and the hype, and this is a completely hypothetical scenario. Would we get Shazam at that point inserted into DC All In? So you have to kind of like think about what would have made it happen. And there's a level of frustration there, because it should always happen regardless if Shazam has like a hit movie, a hit franchise, or is trending on Twitter. Shazam, there's no Trinity in DC. It's four. And from a storyline standpoint, I always dislike the Dark Knight being in Justice League. I am fine if they even like reboot everything, and they find and I know this is blasphemous, but they find a way for the Dark Knight to be powered enough to run with the gods, which would be the Justice League. He deserves to be there. He doesn't have to be like carried around and all of these other things. So it's interesting, but the pushback I feel like was wrong, and other commentators and other YouTubers not identifying that we really have no Captain Marvel. That should really be upsetting, and it's not. And it's again like a little bit more frustration there, where you see a generation of people fully move on from a character, and Captain Marvel should never be that way. It's very similar to once Marvel got the rights for Captain Marvel, right? Like they were all in on that character, meaning this character, we have to try and make it relevant, and they've done everything they could to make Captain Marvel relevant, but we need this character in people's faces because it has our namesake. In a way, Shazam represents DC Comics' namesake. Shazam represents the acquisition that formed, multiple acquisitions that formed DC Comics. He represents superheroes first becoming popular. He represents Billy Batson, which might be, the greatest alter ego ever in comic book history. He represents a time that passed. All of these things. You could do a Shazam movie, from the 30s, like make it a period piece, and it would sell and it would move. That's how much of a fantastic character I believe Shazam is, and Shazam too was like early to radio, early to live action, like very much parallel with Superman, but the comics were the comics really trumped everything else in the marketplace at the time. So guys, I don't know. Let me know your 2 cents maybe. I mean, am I being a little too? I guess we all think I'm crazy at this point. But DC All In, are we excited?